you all. And then the question arise that why, after understanding why I have not reached and realized that state. That's a genuine question. So the question of why should be answered in a logical manner with the right reasoning. Then we find what needs to be done in our day-to-day living. That is that is why you can say that I restarted the journey with main principles. So last week we understood. I believe that those who have not attended must visit the last week's session, and we discussed about the 360-degree understanding that is required. Why 360-degree? Because I'm searching an absolute truth. If I'm searching a relative truth, then it's okay. Then go to the Google and find out the information and apply it. But if we want to know, realize that absolute truth, we need the absolute truth. That was the last week's session. So, what we do in the last week, 360-degree understanding, in our mind, after learning from a teacher, we contemplate and reflect. We define the core topic in our head. What? What is that? So that what focus on the inquiry, on grasping the purpose of life. Normally we talk about, oh, here is the purpose of life. And then what is the purpose of life? To be in peace and happiness. And the next moment we get upset. So that is why we need a 360-degree understanding the last time I put. And then we have to uncover the purpose. When you uncover the purpose, you are answering the question why. You understand the process. So you understand the process means how. How maps out the method and the practical steps. So I remember all the practical steps to be applied. That is what the Buddha says. Know how, then show how. You see, know how and then show how. And then recognize the very context. What is the context? So that answers the question where. Consider the timeline when. And then the mind gets awakened when I should be happy in the morning or in the afternoon or in the evening. No, all the time. Where? All the locations. Oh, so that gives you a framework in the mind. Oh, this is what I'm searching for. So that is the journey of the self-discovery. That is why Master says you have to become a seeker. You have to become a seeker. If you are not a seeker, then we enjoy listening, and then we enjoy listening like enjoying a cup of tea. So, so then we integrate the multi-dimensional perspectives. No single view captures the whole picture. That is what the absolute truth is. So we have to pick up all the areas, whether it's a personal life, professional life, social life. But when you pick up, you integrate this perspective, your personal life changes, your relationship changes, your social life changes, your family life changes. Your mind says, no, 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 I should not say this. I should not act like this. And then what happens? There begins the journey inside. Then you become more and more aware of your inside. Your mind goes inside and says, no, yes, no, yes. So you filter out what is not required. That is what briefly we covered uh, uh, last in the last session. So think that, we have started the journey in the new year from the last week. That would be a series. So I have named the series Am I Consciousness? That is the question. Am I consciousness? So first intellectually, mentally, I prove that yes, I am consciousness. And then step by step, I apply multidimensionally. And then I realize that I am the consciousness. So today, so when you bring together all the facets, multidimensional approach, in that multidimensional approach, we need to have a harmony in life. If the harmony is not there, then it is very difficult to reach to that state. Now question comes, how the harmony is achieved. We have millions of desires. We have millions and millions of desires since our childhood. Oh, the moment we are born, we had a desire of hunger, impulsive desire, instinctive desire. We didn't know. As we grew older, we started playing with the toys. We had a desire for the toys. And so it continues. Then we have emotional and hormonal changes. We have the sensual desires. That is how the life, because I have to capture everything of my life. Why everything of my life? Because I'm consciousness all the time. So our masters gave us a beautiful picture of that how to achieve the harmony in the life. The very first step, I should be clear. I should be very clear about all these desires. Can I categorize these desires? And if yes, in how many groups I should categorize my desires? So that perception made very clear by our great masters that we have 4 groups of desires in our life. What are the first? First, you can start with that once we are a seeker, then we understand the importance of ethical harmony. What is ethical harmony? What is right and good, I must do it. Should I tell a lie? No. Think of this ethical harmony in my personal, in my professional, in my business life. Why? Because that helps me to keep the mind calm. Otherwise, I remain fully busy all the time. So the first group of desire I should introduce, if I have not introduced, those people who do not introduce this desire, they have a problem of speaking lie, and then they feel frustrated. And every time it happens. So the first group of the desire. So what is right and good? Just pay attention. What is right and good for me? What is right and good for you? What is right and good for a family in my personal life? So that will set an agenda in your mind. So you will refrain from doing those things which is not required. What this is known as, you'll be surprised. That is known as the dharma. Dhammam sharanam gaccham. I give lessons from Buddhist and I mix up some other principles for the Ukrainian group on Mondays. Dhammam sharanam gacchami. So don't take dharma or so-called religion blindly. Dhamma. Dhamma is basically, so religion is not defined in a sense the Western philosophy defines the religion. We say what is right and good, bring your mind back again and again. So that should be the one group of desire. Should I talk to you? What is right and good? Should I work with you? What is right and good? Should I communicate with my honey what is right and good? So that is the first group of desire we have to introduce in our life. So second group of desire, because we are, so what happens, when you introduce this first group of desire? So you are living with what is right and good in your head. It takes time. But why we are learning this? You have understood I am consciousness intellectually, but you have not realized it. So there are shortcomings in the mind. That is why we are learning this. So we did not learn the basics. I have explained in a different way. That is why we are doing it. So what is right and good? No. Your mind may be saying that, one thing is right for me, may not be right for you. No, that is not Dhamma. So what is Dhamma? Truth, honesty, integrity, non-violence, righteousness. They are good for everyone. So you see, your mind creates a doubt instantly. So the mind has resolved. Now our masters have resolved this problem. What is right and good for everyone? I have to follow that. It is not based on my preferences. Are you getting it? So that level of awareness should enter into my head all the time. And if that enters into my head all the time, I become the next level of a seeker. So when I uphold the dharma, which I explained you, it leads to an orderliness in my life. Now see, look at the cause and effect. That orderliness keeps my mind calm. So now you see the importance of this Dhamma. Harmony and the balance around me in the world. So when you violate this, it causes disorder and chaos. Anytime you violate it, it causes disorder and chaos in your life. So good dharma, the first group of desire. Dhamma is like we are learning, and you all are seekers, so that's why we are talking of the basics. So you start putting your life like the rails on that keep the train of the life on the track. Dhamma is like the rails. Second group of desire. So you just think only, categorize anytime any thought comes which pertains to the desire. Categorize them into four. Second category. Second category is artha. Artha means the economic harmony. Economic harmony means that means that I should make an effort. I should use my skill to earn some money. So there should be an economic harmony from inside to outside. Internally, financial security reduces worry and the stress until we reach to the highest state. What about the Buddha? You may ask the question. What about other masters who became a monk? What about my master? So we have a provision in the Eastern wisdom. The moment you are initiated into a monkhood, you have become a monk externally, you have a right to beg. You have a right to ask for a donation. Before that, you don't have a right to ask for a donation. Very clear concept we have. So now, because I am a monk, I have taken a vow that my entire life will be dedicated and devoted to this journey of this Eastern wisdom for the self-discovery for myself and the self-discovery for the others. then I have a right to ask the donation. Before that, no. So that is why, so the second step, we all are seekers. So that is why I ask you that these are my professional services. So the second desire, so you keep your mind very clear how much, what is the way that I should be earning, rather than getting one job and the second job and then getting frustrated. One guy told me I applied at 100 places. You are crazy. That's why you applied at 100 places. It doesn't work. You are moving in a wrong way. I didn't talk about that on that particular moment because your mind is not, you are not understanding that. You are running, 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 running. So many people, many of you might have reached to that state of the economic security. Then you have a right. Then your mind, as a seeker, becomes so humble. Then you are ready to spare also for the service of the others. So that is the second group of the desire should be made very clear. It should bring economic harmony, not the economic turmoil. No, I should have this much, so that, I will do this. Economic turmoil. The humility comes out of that. Earning wealth and resources through the ethical means to support oneself, to support the family, to support the teachers also, and others. So we have to put hard work in one direction, wise financial planning and management. That is also required. So what is the cause and effect between? We are trying to understand the entire process, 360-degree understanding in our life. How can you meditate when you have a lot of challenges? You have applied for 100 jobs and you think that you are a meditator? Not possible. I'm very clear. I hear, I ask you to share your experiences, but when the time comes, then only I speak. I understand. Ethical growth of the wealth leads to outer and inner prosperity. Inner prosperity is required here. In becoming a seeker, unethical means I risk and it is going to backfire in one day or the other. Do whatever you want to do. So you see that now your mind is 100% clear. You have 10 thoughts, you categorize them into the 4 groups of desires. So we are bringing that 360-degree understanding. Now the third category. So for we seekers, we are not a monk. So never say the Buddha did this, so I will also do this. Because Buddha got initiated into a monkhood. My master got initiated into a monkhood. My master used to say, don't imitate, don't do what I do. You do what I say to you. See the difference? We start imitating like a monkey. So the third group of the desire is my emotional harmony. Where is that emotional? Fulfilling small desires, which gives me the pleasure. I like a particular food, I have the resources, let me eat it. No, I am going to do an austerity, go to a solitude, going for a retreat, and then I will spend time in meditation. Nothing is going to happen. Nothing has happened. How many retreats you have attended? Be very pragmatic and clear. In terms of the clothes, in terms of the food, in terms of the resources that you use to have an economic harmony, we should have an emotional harmony by enjoying the limited pleasures of the world. Don't start proving I'm the richest guy and then you have a guilt, you have a frustration inside. Don't do that. That is not the life of a seeker. I'm not talking. If you are a material person, then it is better not to attend the session. No, no, keep on attending the session. So internally, experiences of the joy and the beauty, minimum, limited. It should not become, it should not override my mind. So I should share the same pleasure with others, inviting people for food, etc. Also enjoy the aesthetic beauty. Why? Because it helps you to grow your mind. Art, friendship, but based on what is right and good. Joy. Why? Because the mind should experience the joy, emotion, relationship, hobbies, and also the recreation. So you are very clear that you do not start craving for something. You don't have an obsession for something because it is based on what is right and good. The first group of desire. Then overeating will not take place. For one example. So the C group of the desire, balance provides an emotional fulfillment. Excessive indulgence breeds unhappiness. That is the principle. What we are doing, we are understanding the 360-degree understanding. So we have covered the three groups of the desires: dhamma, artha, economic harmony, and the emotional harmony. What happens? Your mind is already free. Check. Understand this clearly. Your mind is already free. So what to do? Fourth group of desire. Desire of all the desires is the realization, self-discovery, awakening, whatever the word you want to use. Don't start thinking that, you have listened one talk, you have done meditation, and you have become like a Buddha. No, we are living in the world. We are not a monk. The monk means that he has not to worry about the economic harmony and the emotional harmony. His mind is already ready. He has reached to that state. That is why internally, that is why he has become a monk. So it is the responsibility of the society to feed them. So he has not to think about we people, we still live in the family. So we follow this track. And so you all are. So the fourth desire. So we have only four groups of desires. Every time your mind has some thoughts, watch it carefully, ask the question, do I put this thought into this group of the desire? It is required. Yes. It is not required. Throw it out of your system. You are already free. Why? Your mind is not now running and you are ready for a self-discovery. You have a steadiness of the mind all the time. That natural steadiness of the mind, naturally focused mind, is ready for a self-discovery. I'm answering you. Last year we had those sessions on Saturdays, and your mind and your intellect definitely got spiritualized. But why it is not going further down? Because the basics are not clear. So the fourth group is the desire. Internally, self-realization. So what is going to happen? As you follow the fourth desire, every day you are aware of it, That internal state of the mind aligns your ego with the universal self because you have an economic harmony, because you have an emotional harmony, and because you have your mind is resolved to be in the state of what is right and good. Buddha never said to everyone that you become a monk, then only I will teach you. Or no master, even my master. Just out of the curiosity and a craving, I wore that cloth, orange colored cloth. And my master became very angry. He said, "No, how dare you do that? But if others are wearing just for the sake of hypocrisy, let them do it. But you are a seeker. You have to find out your status, your position in life." I'm expanding, I'm expanding 360-degree understanding from the last week lesson. So what happens? You are giving enough room to your mind to have the higher consciousness. You will feel a sense of detachment from the ego. It is so natural. It takes 10 years to understand this entire process. But because you have already undergone last year learning that there is no practice is required. The journey of the self-discovery is a non-practice. Only it will happen non-practice when you follow these lines. Otherwise, it will be an intellectual fantasy. It will be simply an intellectual fantasy. So this fourth group of desire is the desire of all the desires. It is the desire of all the desires. I would use to explain it is the goal of life. The first three are goals in life. Think of it. Are you getting it? First three goals in life. In life means they are part of the life. They are not the whole. Fourth is the goal of life. Are you getting it? Yes, you are getting it. This should be very clear in our head. I look at the neighbor, get a car. Oh, electric car, I don't have it. What is right and good? Economic harmony, emotional harmony. Your mind is already set. We are living in a society in the world. Never think that I grow my beard and then I become a monk, become a meditator. What is right? Be very clear, ruthless to your mind. You don't need any practice if you are extremely ruthless to your mind and you bring your mind back to these four groups of desires. Then the principles that we covered last year will surely work. So it means preparation, background preparation. We are not going against the society. We are not blaming anyone that, oh, you are not a spiritual person. I don't talk to you. Why? It builds your ego. I'm a spiritual person. Others are not. Are you getting those? They are the subtle points. So I told you the Dharma provides an ethical framework, and you forget about ethical. What is right and good? Just what is right and good for everyone? For me, for you, in the family, for in the society. Why? Because I have to keep my mind under check. Very clear. So masters, when they say they teach non-violence, they teach harmony, it is because of this. And based on what is right and good, follow the economic harmony, follow the emotional harmony. I can bet you, if you really understood it, every day will be the life of peace and calmness. There is no need to be in a hurry. There is no need to be absolutely busy. There is no need to be reactive. Your mind lives into that state. What is the meaning? Very clear. Be very clear. Monks, those who initiated into the monkhood, they had the initial preparation. It may have the God gifted understanding in their mind. So they become the renunciate. They can directly approach the fourth group of the desire because their mind is already set with a higher level of discernment and dispassion. So for those people, our Eastern wisdom says they need not to earn for their livelihood. They can live on the alms coming from the society. But if it is not, we don't have that level of intensity. We have to bring the first three factors into the harmony first. Then what happens? The mind opens up and it really becomes a seeker. Are you clear? It used to take about 20 sessions, but I'm compressing it into one session. So what is the conclusion? Can you think of it? The first three desires do not oppose the fourth desire. It complements. Oh, we have many people in Dennis who Dennis translates. They put economic harmony opposite to the realization. That's why they are not progressing. What should I say to them? But we are not. We are told not to say, not to speak this thing to them. Help them evolve gradually. Now, you are a non-seeker, your mind is totally bent on seeking the pleasure. And if I say the pleasure is not opposed to the self-realization, because you are a non-seeker, you will say, then why should I learn the self-discovery? So here there is another problem. So we are walking in a razor's edge. What we say, how we say it, we are always walking on a razor's edge. And people come up with many doubts and questions. They have an opposition. Their mind plays with opposition with these four groups of desires. Nothing is opposite. If anything is opposite, I'm talking to the seekers only. You all are seekers. So don't raise unnecessary question in your mind. Nothing is opposite to the journey of the self-discovery. For the non-seekers, I will say yes. Craving and the pleasure and the money and everything is opposite until they reach the progress and they evolve to a certain stage. Our teaching is very mysterious. You should be very clear about it. Now, when I say nothing is required in the journey of the self-discovery, and your mind is already not prepared to follow what is right and good, what is the result? Can you think of it? Hypocrisy. See that? You have to go very deep. I'm just talking about the 360-degree understanding. Result is the hypocrisy. So we teachers have to be very careful in what we are teaching to which group of the people. See that? Rejecting Artha, the economic harmony, the financial stability tends towards the extreme austerity. And the extreme austerity is driven by the ego. So now ego becomes a barrier here instead of a wisdom. I can tell you we have a beautiful experiences, Without asking me, one of my friends said $25 for 6 or 7 hours. So I can afford it. I said, okay, let us do it. I can afford it. I said, oh, let us do it. At least I will expose that group of the people. And nothing happened. That program was cancelled. So unnecessary. You see, now I'm trying to prove that I am a spiritual person. This is hypocrisy. Are you looking at it? Very thin line is there in this journey of the self-discovery. I'm just going very deep into your mind, into your personal, into your professional life to make you understand. Because you have been consistent for a couple of years on Saturday's session. Two things I have explained you. You are going opposite. Economic harmony, and then that person also did not attend the session. But that person proved, look at how spiritual, how kind I am. I am charging so little money. Go to the gas station. Nowadays, the gas $3 a gallon, and you ask the owner, "Can you give me $1 a gallon?" They will throw you out. We don't understand. We just took it as an ego, problem of hypocrisy. I'm just talking about the inner conflict. This is an outer example. And now another. I'm very careful in saying this. Don't take it. You have to contemplate. Condemning pleasures. When you condemn pleasure, makes your relationship and emotional fulfillment a taboo. We are going very deeper on Saturdays. Don't create a taboo in you. You have a taboo. Forget about self-discovery. It will never happen. This will suppress a key dimension of being a human. Bottling up emotional stresses erupts later as an outburst and a deeper, complex, disturbing equanimity. I can tell you, I don't want to name. I can tell you. I understand that, but I don't say anything. When you share your experiences, I can immediately guess it. So that disturbs your equanimity. Thus, attempting to bypass the three groups of the desires while living a worldly life will backfire. You have to bring the high brain. You should have a wiser approach. The wiser approach is not there. Look at the way this entire journey has been understood by our masters. They contemplated and reflected for years in the forest, in the Himalayas, and then they brought out these principles. Now, I gave you example of the hypocrisy taboo. The moment you see the taboo in you, examine, reflect the pleasure aspect. The sense of hypocrisy is there. You have to go back to these three groups of the desires. Make yourself totally free. Why, what do you mean by free? I'm still engaged in a professional activity and still I'm not attached to it. I'm not attached. So not attached. So I'm a for relative freedom. So when I'm free, then what? I have enough time for the journey of the self-discovery every day. I'm committed. So that is what I said. We need a proper foundation. Proper foundation. So when you have Dhamma, what is right and good, second is the economic harmony. It does not matter. Economic harmony does not come by $1 billion. It can even come by $1,000. Then you need not to apply, for 100 jobs. You are applying where you will not be getting the job. No, I applied for 100. Why you apply for? My mind is, already disturbed. So wherever I get and I see, and let me apply. So no, I'm just, talking. So what happens, it creates a sense of detachment naturally. So you have a well integrated personality. There is a sense of ripeness and suitability. Suitability for what? For what? For my self discovery. That is the second lesson. Forget the previous one. You already have an intellectual understanding. So when they both combine, they will say, oh, yes, I don't need. Your inner, your mind inside should say that meditation is a non practice, not by my saying. Are you getting it? Are you male or female? You know from inside. I don't need to authenticate this. I don't need to say that you are a man and you're a woman. Did you understand? Yes, I understand. No. Can you just understand that state of the mind? That state of the mind is a great seeker, is a higher level of a seeker. That seeker requires a non-practice. Let us enter into a non-practice today. That understanding. Eyes are closed gently. So I will translate today's so-called practice into a non-practice, but I will translate one verse into this transcription or the instructions, my friend. Eyes are closed gently. You're comfortable So the seeker's mind explores being comfortable. Non-seeker's mind makes an effort to remove the discomfort. See that? Yeah, because you have the three levels of the harmony. Mind is already withdrawn inside. It has not left any task incomplete until today, until now. Why? Economic harmony, pleasure harmony, ethical harmony. Then how dare your mind say that my mind is distracted? Very good. Now just pay attention. We are just into a non-practice. This master said, Yadi deham prathakrasyat chiri vishramya tishtasi adhunaiva sukhi shanta bandha muktu bhavishyasi. Translation: if I witness, if I see, if I am clear, if I am in the discernment and dispassion that I am not the body, the mind naturally rests in its natural state, and I experience peace and happiness. If I live continuously, this results into self-realization. This is the translation. So I'm translating this verse into, again, I'm using non-practice. Head in the neck, awareness and sensation. Because you recognize the head in the neck only because of the consciousness, because of your awareness. And that awareness gives you an experience of the sensation. That is why you know here is a head in the neck. Right arm, awareness and sensation. Left arm. I'm just giving a pointer, making you aware and attentive. That's all. And then what I say, left arm. If I ask you a question, are you aware? How? Because I feel the sensation. The non-seeker's mind is more bent on, I don't feel that, I have discomfort, so let me make it comfortable. Mind is struggling. But there is no struggle here now. Yes, the chest and the belly, awareness and sensation. I'm taking you to the journey what the Buddha says about the breath awareness. Right leg, awareness and sensation. I'm not saying anything to do. Left leg, awareness and sensation. Entire body, awareness and sensation. We will refine our understanding again. Head in the neck. Awareness, sensation, and stillness. So when I experience, means I'm aware there is a sensation and there is also a stillness. Why the stillness is not there in the body? Because of the three groups of desires are still haunting my mind. Otherwise, there is no reason. That's a very subtle understanding of a seeker. Right arm, awareness, sensation, stillness. Left arm, awareness, sensation, stillness. Chest and the belly. You see, I'm not saying you to do the practice. I'm saying you to experience. It is already there. Awareness. The moment I said chest and the belly, awareness is already there. But that gives me an experience through the sensation there, an idea, an image. And the stillness is there. What does it mean, the stillness? The mind is not unnecessarily wandering on other thoughts, causing distraction. Very good. Right leg. Awareness, sensation, and stillness. Left leg, sensation, awareness, sensation, and stillness. The entire body, sensation, awareness, sensation, and stillness. Sometimes it happens because of our past impressions, deep-rooted impressions triggers us, and we do not experience awareness, sensation, and stillness, so we can repeat it. We can repeat our understanding. Head in the neck, awareness, sensation, and stillness. So those who experience the deeper stillness, the deeper sensation, when you are repeating it, you are there. There is nothing in the journey of the self-discovery which cannot be realized by anyone. The entire body, awareness, sensation, and stillness. What is the fourth desire? First three groups of the desires enters into our head without wanting. Fourth group of desire, we have to think. So look inside the forehead, awareness of the space, and say to yourself, I am the peace and happiness. We are just becoming aware. The moment you say I'm the peace and happiness and you stay there in the space, you see there is a separation of the mind from the body, which settles the mind inside. Or you may go inside the forehead. So Dhamma, the first group, the desire, lives inside the forehead. What is right and good, I have to think rationally. So there you already said, I am peace and happiness. So look inside your heart in the space, I am peace and happiness. And there is the emotional and the economic harmony, which pulls my mind outside. So when you say I am peace and happiness, you mean it at this moment. There is no projection in the past or the future. Here and now, adhunaiv. The master stresses the word in the verse, adhunaiv sukhi shanta. When you say I am peace and happiness and the mind lives inside, it settles into the fourth desire. You have that experience even for a moment. To help the mind to live into that state, you simply look at the breath. I never say you focus on the breath. Just looking means you're aware of the breath. You are aware of the sensation of the breath. You are aware of the change in the flow of the breath, if there is. Her mind impulsively, socially, instinctively knows three groups of desires. That is why a consistent listening and learning is required to help the mind to discover the fourth desire and then start the journey. The way we buy a lottery ticket, won 10 million jackpot. So when you said, I am peace and happiness, that is a jackpot. That is reverberating in the mind of a seeker who is aware of the breath at this moment, and you are there. I'm trying to explain in a different way. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your awareness on the right hand, your awareness on the left hand. Lift your Buddha palms, place it on your eyes. Know your experiences, bring the hands down. Greater the ignorance, you need many practices. You start dropping the ignorance by understanding these principles. The practice converts into a non-practice. How are you, Terry?
The meditation was over very fast.
Very fast.
I feel like we've gone to another level,
Good.
and I just kind of I felt like I was floating.
Beautiful. You see what happened, the intellectual understanding and then the realization. If that intellectual understanding remains all the time during our life, means ethical harmony, economic harmony, pleasure harmony. So the mind is not distracted anywhere. They are not opposite. I've been telling you, the moment you say they are opposite, you enter either into hypocrisy or a taboo. But it does not mean that, no, I have understood it's not, then I should indulge more. That is why we don't teach to the non-seekers. It's a very thin line. How are you, Stephen?
Good, thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
The lesson from last week with the 360-degree view resonated with me all week long, and during contemplation and reflection, it caused me to continue. Like I was in this circle, just going around and around, and when I said, okay, now it's time to break this thing down to smaller pieces, like we've discussed over the years. And I realized that the important part of the 360 degree is realizing that I'm in the middle of it. And therefore I have to look at everything as it relates to me and preventing me from that peace and happiness, and truly embracing that the essential nature. And with that, it is opened up to become even more aware of everyday events and activities and saying, well, why am I thinking about that? Why is it making me feel this way? And so on and so forth. And again, driven by desires, which you've now defined it into four groups today, and ego. And how does it all come back to it? And so I've had a lot of clarity with that this week. So thank you again. My meditation today was unique because as you took us through the body parts, that was all. It was as if that was the only body part that existed at that moment. And then it became when, you had right arm, left arm, so on. It was when you said the head and the neck is when I started thinking. And it wasn't just the head and the neck. I was like, that's where I realized that when I was in the arm, it was just the arm. Yes, and I was like, okay, so now I'm back in my mind and I need to shut that thing down, and it shut down, and here we are. So not sure what happened between then and there, but thank you.
Beautiful. I would pick up one thought that your mind revealed. You said we are in the middle of it. I want to stress that. What is the middle of the sun? It is the center. The center doesn't move. What is the middle of the earth? It doesn't move. It is unchanging. So that divine element or the real self or the consciousness is in the middle of it. And just outside on the circumference, everything is moving. We consider that moving is me, is the problem, is the ignorance, is the suffering. No, you see, I extract the wisdom from how you share. How are you, David and Jerry?
Good morning. The practice was really excellent for me. It's amazing that I find the Saturday sessions to be almost like this intense, distilled down version of months and months of work that we're doing, and it just really is rich in what's the word I'm looking for? Rich in knowledge, rich in little bits for our life that we can put together. So consequently, I had a very, very deep, simple, fast meditation. Thank you.
Beautiful. That's a good experience. Yeah. When we realize it is fast and it is intense, obviously the intense comes from that state of the mind. Good. How are you, Jerry?
Sir, I'm good. Thank you. Settled right away. Feel rooted in that knowledge. And the center and that 360 is, and I really loved the opposing. Anything that opposes the knowing that I'm the peace, then right away the mind negates it. And then right away the mind knows, no, then that's ignorance. That's not the knowledge. That's, and so right away the mind sees it. And, so where there's never a time to rationalize or resist what's not wise.
Beautiful. You see that we replace that, as Stephen was said, that we are in the middle of it. The middle means that we are at the center, which is unchanging. So when we replace that center with the ego, that creates a taboo, that creates a resistance, that creates a hypocrisy. Because I overlap the natural center with my ego. So ego manifests as a taboo, ego manifests as a hypocrisy, ego manifests as a resistance. Otherwise, as such, there is no resistance. Beautiful shared. Thank you. How are you, Dennis?
Thank you. Wonderful session as every Saturday session. And while you were talking, my mind was revolving around the term from Buddhism, the middle path, where the Buddha explained that the external activities, we don't fully reject and we don't fully embrace them. We find this middle line between them when these external activities they lead to balance of the mind, the equanimity of the mind, that ultimately helps to for the self-discovery.
Beautifully put. Dennis revealed, his mind revealed another what he has already studied and have been contemplating. You see the middle path, or whether you say the harmony. Ego does not want to live in the middle. It always wants to create an extreme. And that extreme is nothing but the taboo, hypocrisy, and there we are lost. But it demands a lot of preparation every day. Not only 1 hour on Saturday, but once you listen to it again and again, you continue to live in that middle. Beautifully put, Johannes. Thank you. How are you, Vaibhav?
Thank you, sir. Sir, practice was good. Today's session, it draws a very fine line, which tells me which actually set up a thing that mind is not distracted, and it brings to mind to a purity that it's not. It's not creating an inner conflict. It is creating and resolve the inner conflicts and put the mind at peace. So it was very
Yes,
peaceful.
yes. I know that you find it little difficult to explain what you experience, but let me make it very easy. Purity is already there. When this ego mind realizes and drops all the effort, it realizes the purity is already there. When the ego mind does not realize, I have to make an effort to make the mind pure. That creates a lot of conflict. And that is why we have to undergo a lot of practices, lot of practice. I tell my dear friend, I gave an example. 7 hours and 7 hours and how much, I'm not saying the cost. 7 hours and $25. Can make you a spiritual person? I am ready to take $5 and for 10 hours.
Ishu!
I'm ready. If it makes you a spiritual. We don't understand. We don't want to understand. The problem is this. Like this, there are hundreds of examples. Anyhow, Ashok, you have shouted, so now you can shout on me.
Oh, sorry, sir.
Sorry, sir.
Mic pila hua hai. I called issue na. That's why. Sorry. I'm good, sir. Peaceful and mind. Everything's fine. Thank you. Sorry.
So you unmute and then you shout.
Right.
So, okay, how about you, Sam?
Namaste, sir.
Namaste, sir.
Thank you for the non-practice. As far as that part is concerned, I felt a lot of energy, good energy flowing through the body. Lately with my practices, I'm feeling more and more grounded through my legs, which is interesting with the disability, but very welcoming again. Feeling a balance there. And I'm happy that everybody has been sharing a similar experience as far as the lessons go, because I've been thinking about that concept of real self and ego again. And when the ego is showing itself, it's I want something, I get what I want, I'm happy. I don't get what I want, I'm not happy. And in that situation, that's where you are. And I was at a birthday party yesterday, and there were two kids, young kids, chasing around a soccer ball at the party. When one got what they wanted, happy. When one didn't get what they want, crying. Then, as soon as the ball switched hands, one was happy, one was sad. And that was it. And I saw it right there. And when you're living in peace and happiness, then you can see those things more easily. And it's a good reminder to stay within that real self, that center.
You are right. We are just like those kids chasing the ball again and again outside. We are not creating a harmony at the first three levels. So the mind will continue chasing outside. It will listen to the understanding. It will attend the Saturday session, but your mind will go back to those first three levels. So we don't have that intense desire to know the real self. And that is why it is not happening. Yes, that's another revelation by you. It's a good way to explain. So we will continue with those basics. Once you strengthen those bases in your life, you will see your previous understanding that you had been learning for these couple of years will fruition into a realization. So we are just connecting those dots where we are missing. So we'll have another session on next week. Until then, thank you very much. Thank
Thank
you.
you. Namaste. Happy New
Thank
Year.
you, sir. Namaste. Happy
Happy
New
New
Year.
Day.
Thank you, sir. Namaste, everyone.
Namaste.
And Happy New Year to everyone.
Happy New Year.